we talk about, and I talked about it, and you can quote me because it's out of my book, I talked about the common water machine, the SD501, being the Rolls Royce of water ionizers, and it truly is. I don't know of anything that compares to it, and I failed to say that earlier, but we have found nothing to date that comes remotely close to comparing to a common water ionizer. Nothing, not even close. I asked people, where are the testimonies? Give us the testimonies. But the fourth thing, as most of you know, is drinking the right kind of fluids. And I've got a long story about this, but I'm not going to go deep into it. But I just looked to try and find what cancer patients can drink. What can they drink? Not much. You drink Gatorade, mineral water, Pepsi Cola, tap water. Please don't drink tap water. Fluoride is deadly poison. It's actually rat poison is what it is. Most municipalities still have fluoride in them, despite the fact that if they spill the fluoride on the way to putting it in your water, it's a hazmat situation. And they got to come with the suits to clean it up. And then they put it in your water so you can drink it. Chlorine, it's poison. We know that. Every time you take a shower, if you don't have a filter, and you got chlorine in your water, you get the equivalent of 8 glasses of tap water. Chlorinated water that's absorbed into your skin. Your skin will absorb that rapidly. It won't absorb fluoride rapidly, but it will chlorine. Deadly poison for you. And if you've got steam coming out of your shower, it's worse because you breathe that. It goes into your lungs. Your lungs have so many blood vessels, and you instantaneously poison yourself. That's why when you get out of having a hot shower, you know, sometimes you feel a little tired or lethargic. That's what happens. But I discovered this water, how long, 5, 6 years ago, Shelley? 5.5 years ago. Because I was looking for something that cancer patients could drink. And I discovered this water and I said, okay, ionized water is the way to go. So I said, I want to promote ionized water because I began to understand it, and then I began to study it, and I studied it for 4 months. Well, I've been studying it ever since, but I studied it hard for 4 months. And now, is that the Mountain Dew or the 7-Up? Oh, it's Sprite. Okay, that's cheaper. But then began to look around and look at many different companies and many different ionizing machines. And I was amazed at what I saw, but I was also amazed that many people would not give me answers. How many people here know what ORP is? Yeah, most of you probably. My big question was, once I understood what it was, is how long does it last? Isn't that critical? When you've got a negative charge in millivolts on the water, and the negative charge is supposed to be a good thing about the water, how long does it last? Can I pour myself some of this and let it sit for a few days and it's going to be just as good? No one would tell me how long the ORP would last. And I discovered why. Finally, one guy blurted out, it doesn't last, it's gone in 24 hours. Probably sooner than that. Not with this company we're talking about today, with another one. And so I thought, I wonder what's going on here. So I poured myself a gallon on my SD501 and put a lid on it, filled it all the way to the top, put it on my cool floor, covered it with a towel, so it was in a cool, dark place and it wasn't oxygenated. 5 days later, I went back, and didn't we measure that with an ORP meter? And it still came out at greater than minus 100 after 5 days. Of course, it hadn't been jiggled. Motion effects, ORP. There was no heat. It was kept cool. Heat effects, ORP. Oxygenation. It was closed tight. It wasn't open. So everything was perfect for that to happen. But the fact is that this water works to help cancer patients. It helps in prevention. It helps to heal the human immune system. And again, it's steeped in science. And if you'll read chapter 6 in my book, which has changed actually in the new 3rd edition, because I've added portions, several portions, but one is about Dr. Jerry Tennant when he writes about healing his voltage. You read about that? Anyone? Healing his voltage? very true. You know, your cells run at a certain electrical charge. It's a negative charge on your cells. And if they're not at least minus 25, then you're not well. Many people are running around at minus 15 and minus 10 and they're chronically sick. Thing is, though, you need to go way above minus 25 to heal. The cell won't heal. Of course, the cell needs the nutrients and it needs the hydration, but it needs that electrical charge to bring the healing process to be. So how can a cancer patient heal if they're running around at minus 15 and minus 10 millivolts? Fact is, they can't, and they don't. It's the reason this water appears to work so well in bringing the body back to homeostasis, because it's not only doing that, it's hydrating the body. And most of you know that story about how it hydrates, how it's, you know, restructured water, hexagonal shape, like the micropores that absorb it. It's low microcluster, which most of you know as well. And that makes a big difference. You know, if you're drinking a gallon of water and only absorbing 17% of it, boy, I guess you better drink 2 or 3 gallons. You need absorbable water. You need to be hydrated. Many of the diseases we have today, we were talking about this at dinner too. You got cellulite? Anyone? You're dehydrated. And there's many other things that happen within your body because you're dehydrated. So you need the hydration. You need the negative charge on the water, but you need the alkalinity as well. The negative charge will bring around that process of healing. If you need minus 50 to minus 75 millivolts to heal, doesn't it make sense then to pour yourself a glass of water, this one glass of water here, 12 ounces, 16 ounces, whatever it is, there's more antioxidant capacity in this one glass of water at 9.5 pH than all the organic fruits and vegetables you could possibly eat in one day.
Amen.
It's true. Why would you only drink one? You wouldn't. And you not only get that antioxidant capacity, but you get that ORP again. You get that ability to heal the body. That negative charge on the cells. And when you need minus 50 or minus 75 and you're getting minus 300, minus 500, I've even heard minus 800. What's that doing for your body? Wonderful things. We're doing something rather strange with this water that many people have been contesting us on, or were initially. Even the parent company. Besides, we're drinking it. We're telling people to drink 11.5. At first, everybody was afraid of it. No one would recommend it. Say, oh no, not even the company. Say, don't drink 11.5. Why not? We know cancer patients who take cesium chloride. What's the pH of cesium chloride? What's the top of the scale? 14? Problem is, if you take anything that's too high of pH over too long of a prolonged period of time, you might begin to drain the body of potassium or some minerals. But that would be over a continued period of time. We know a gal named Louise. She had a massive lung tumor. She went to her chiropractor and said, I won't be able to come back and see you again. He said, why not? Well, just been diagnosed with terminal cancer. They gave me less than 90 days. Massive lung tumor and then fibroids all throughout the rest of my lungs. Ladies, if you got fibroid problems, I don't care where they are, iodine. It's a miracle, isn't it? Iodine. I write about iodine in the book. Want your fibroids to go away? Well, you can have an operation. You can have a lot of things done, but why not take iodine instead? I would. Where was I? Louise. Louise. Her chiropractor said, I wish you'd told me about that sooner. He says, here, try some of this water. And so she tried some and said, man, it tastes pretty good. He says, it's 9.5 pH Kangen water. And she goes, really? Is this the strongest you got? And he said, well, no, we got 11.5, but no one thinks you should drink it that high of a pH. He says, I got 90 days to live. What have I got to lose? So Louise started drinking a gallon a day of 11.5 pH water. And something really strange happened. 120 days, she goes back to her doctor, and he says, Louise, what you been doing? She says, Not much. So I'm still going though. Past 90 days. He says, you don't have any cancer in your body anymore. Now, did the water cure her cancer? No. No one can say that. What did the water do? It flooded her body with antioxidants. It gave her super alkalinity. Remember, all cancer patients are acid. They're all inflamed. They're all acid. You got to get back to that alkaline state. Anybody smell a newborn baby? Smells good. It's alkaline, born alkaline. Anybody walk into a rest home and take a big whiff? It's not that great, you know? When all we old folks get old and get together and get too acid, it doesn't smell that great. We need to be alkaline. So Louise got herself alkaline. She flooded her body with antioxidants. She hydrated her body. Went over the top. A gallon a day. And Louise was in her 70s when she started that. Her son called her. And she was on her way to getting well. And he lived down in California. He says, I just got back from the doctor, lymphoma, 90 days. This is a true story. And she couldn't believe it with what she was going through. And she said, stay right where you are. I'm coming down. She packed up her water machine that she just bought, headed down there, and got him going. 90 days he was back to work. All of his cancer was gone. True story. I did not talk to Louise. I talked to Louise's husband. And I said, I've heard this. This is a legendary story going around. I want to know if it's true or not. And so I reiterated to him all of what I had heard, and he says, it's absolutely true, all of it. So it's a verifiable story. But folks, we need to understand, it's steeped in science. This isn't just water. I don't know what you want to call it, you know, Kangen water, return to origin water, miracle water. I mean, you could put many names on it. I'm sure that Anagic wouldn't want you to call it miracle water. But it helps to restore the human body. It helps to restore a diseased body. It doesn't cure anything, but your body, as we said, will cure itself.